Hi everyone, how are you? It's Leah Koss with the Mortgage Center, and I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm doing a PowerPoint presentation for you rather than you having to stare at my face. And I want to give you basically a checklist. If you're going to purchase a home, here are things you need to do before you find the home of your dreams, and then things you need to do after you find the home of your dreams. So first off, obviously we want to look at before you start your house hunting. And when you talk to me, these are some of the questions I'm going to be asking you. And the first thing is what and where. What kind of property are you looking for? A house, a detached house? Or are you looking for a strata unit like a condo or a townhouse? As well, what city are you looking in? Vancouver to Maple Ridge is going to be completely different. There's two reasons that I ask these things. One, if you're looking in Vancouver for homes, well, I'm going to let you know to be aware of oil pans. If you're looking in Maple Ridge, I'm going to tell you to be aware of, septic and well, and to be aware of previous grow-ops and things like that. As well, by knowing the city that you're going into, when I have to do your pre-approval, which will come later on, I'm going to be able to estimate what your property taxes are going to be. So that helps me out. But I'm definitely going to ask you these questions first. Next, I always suggest, once you figure out what you want, go to a realtor. Realtors are not just, for the obvious sense, great because they save you a lot of time by making you be concise with your choices for which properties you go to look for. But they have access to resources that you don't, as well as properties that you don't. Plus, the thing that people never think about is realtors are insured and they're used to dealing with contracts. When it comes to anything with legalities, it's always best to get someone who knows what they're talking about. And if you need a reference for your particular city that you're looking in, give me a call. I can refer you to someone fantastic in your area, someone who I would vouch for and stand behind, and someone who I work with all the time. Next, of course, we've got to do the pre-approval for you. So I can do this two ways. You can either get a pre-approval over the phone where you just give me a call, I ask you questions about your numbers, and I give you a number that you can start shopping with. For example, the objective is this, is you going, how big of a house can I buy? You can get up to a $500,000 home. You go off and start shopping. Now, over the phone pre-approval, as you'll see from my other videos, which I encourage you to go to my website to find, you will notice that they only hold as much weight as the numbers you give me. Now, you may, with all best intentions, give me numbers that you think are true, but you may be mistaken. Not because you mean to, but just because you don't know how the banks are going to look at your numbers. So it's important that if you can, go and fill out an actual mortgage application. You can do this two ways. You can either do an online application at leahkoss.ca. There's a red button on the right-hand side that says Apply Now. Or if you're more of a print and fax kind of person, you can go to the Mortgage Tools tab, and there you'll find one that you can print. Now, as I mentioned, pre-approvals only hold as much weight as the information you give me. And what I like to do is before you go and find the home of your dreams and before you go and start making offers, I want to make sure that the pre-approval I gave you is actually going to hold some weight so that you don't lose that home of your dreams. So I always suggest that before and during house hunting, we start getting your necessary paperwork in line. This is also going to help you where if you get into a competitive situation where there's multiple offers, because we already have everything all set up, all you have to do is, whatever your home inspections or whatever you want to do. But in terms of the banking and financing, we've already got all the paperwork together. So that means you can give a smaller subject removal time, which makes you look more competitive, and it makes it a more compelling offer for that seller. So what are some of the necessary paperwork that I'm going to want? Well, we always need to verify your income and down payment. Again, go to my website, leahkoss.ca, and find my videos on income and down payment. It's important to understand how you make your money. It's going to determine what kind of paperwork I need. But some examples of this are pay stubs, notice of assessments, job letters. When it comes to down payment, you cannot pull money out of thin air. We need to verify that it's not drug money or cash money. We need to make sure that it's your money. So we're going to need bank statements. If it's a gift down payment, we need a gift letter, which I can provide for you. Some other paperwork that you may need is divorce or separation agreements. Doesn't matter how long you have been separated or divorced for, we are going to need confirmation that you are separate from your ex. Bankruptcy discharge, business licenses, and certificates of incorporation if you own your own business. So those are some of the pieces of paperwork that we will need, aside from the paperwork that we're going to need on the actual property itself. Now, after you found the house of your dreams, well, we need all of that paperwork anyway. So again, this is going to help save us stress, because if you have a 5-day subject removal, if we've already got the paperwork out of the way, holy heck, we're relaxed, we're calm, we're getting things done a lot easier and in less of a panic. So once you found the house of your dreams, no exceptions, we need all of your paperwork. No exceptions to that. Then obviously we're going to need paperwork on the property, the MLS listing for the property, property condition disclosure statement, contract to purchase and sale as well. And one other thing I didn't list on here is any strata forms, things like Form B. Your realtor will know what that is. Now, if it's requested by the lender, we will also need an appraisal for the property. This is not always needed, but if you're putting down more than 20%, it will most always be needed. And this is just by internal lender policy, so there's no rule of thumb on it. Now, specific to the property, again, remember how I asked what city are you looking in? There might be something like oil tanks in the backyard, or there could be a previous grow-op or something like that. Well, if your house has a septic or a well, we're going to need testing or title insurance purchased. If there's an oil tank in the backyard, you're going to need it fully removed and tested before you can purchase that property. So it's up to the seller and you to work together to figure out who's paying for that and when it's getting done. As well, if it was a previous drug lab like a meth lab or a grow-op, there will be environmental testing that needs to be done. So that leads me into the final thing, which is the subject removal timeline. All paperwork, if it's collected before the subject removal, you can before you find the home of your dreams, the subject removal only has to be 3 to 5 days long. If you have no paperwork, I do suggest doing 5 to 7 business days long. Reason being is if you need new NOAs from the government, or you need a letter from your employer and they don't work too fast, you want to make sure that we've got enough time to get that paperwork. As well, with the things that I mentioned above, if any property testing is needed, you will need 2 to 4 weeks for subject removal. Don't worry about that affecting your competitive edge if there are multiple offers, because no matter what, unless that person's paying cash, they too will have to go through this exact same testing. And if there is any other weird lender requests, I will let you know. They come out with internal policies constantly. It's hard to predict, but I will let you know. If you want more information about some of the things that I mentioned here, like the income videos, credit, down payment, go to my website, leahcost.ca. It'll show you everything there. As well, you can always find all of my videos on youtube.com and Twitter. My username is normally Mortgages in Vancouver or Mortgages in Van. And if you want to contact me, as always, go to my website, or you can email or call me. If you want to get started today, fill out an application online. leahcost.ca, red button on the right says apply now, and I will give you a call back within 2 hours of you submitting that. So if you have any questions, as always, give me a call. I am here to help, and I guess I will be hopefully talking to you soon. Good luck with your home purchase.